Okay, go for it.
Yes, but it's not the one
Organ?
I put in.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay, as we know, I'm presenting about the Neolithic period. It's also we also can say as a new Stone Age, since we guess that it started since from 10,000 BCE, whenever the ice started to melt and then the Earth started to show up again, and then whenever this ice melts and this climate goes up, all the animals and all these plants are starting to have their original the cycles. So that gives the humans a new start of lifestyle. Since there's plenty of animals and then they have warm land, they can settle down in some kind of land and build a town rather than moving around and hunting the animals. So that's basically the background of Neolithic period. So different to Paleolithic period is now they are starting to settle down, like how we settle down in our city. So they're started having a more how to say this more substantial structure. Since if we're moving around, if I have to stay here for 4 days and I have to move around for getting more food or to want for my family, I'm not gonna build my house really fancy. I'm just gonna build a hut or whatever. But now people kind of decided to stay. So that's how they changed about their life cycle. So now they're gonna raise animal instead of hunting and just eat them and then get it another one later, tomorrow, whenever they want. So now they're gonna raise it, they're gonna put it on their fence or whatever they have. They're I don't know, we can say as farm. I don't know, they have concept of farm at the moment, but so yeah, that's the basic background of Neolithic period. So people settle down, try to build more structure, more long being term of buildings. So and then it also real affects how they present their artistic life. And one of a good evidence for Neolithic period is Jordan. I guess that's the name of the region. It's around the Jericho River. That's what we say. And then a lot of archaeologists usually find strong evidence of Neolithic period around Eastern Mediterranean and then Mesopotamia region, and then Jordan is also one of that place, which is near the Jericho River. And then when you see the original history, you can see that people start their civilization. I think it's also start of civilization, even if it's small town, people start to gather up. So they start this kind of civilization near the river because they need water. And then so can you go to the next one? Yeah, this is Jordan around the Jericho River, and then this is the ground where they usually build their house. They usually build their house with the sun baked mud. They bake the mud with sunlight, and then they just when it dried, it's kind of hard, so they use that as a brick. So they're using that brick on this stone foundation to build the house. So they basically dug the wide ditch, and then they put the stone as a wall around 13 to 15 feet tall, and then they put this bricks to form a house. As we can see in these days, we put some kind of concrete as a structure, and then we put the brick outside. And then when as we can see the design of this building, people found out that they usually bury the dead bodies below where they live. So below the floor, I guess. And then what the special characteristic they did is they didn't put all this dead body below the ground. They buried their bodies, the dead bodies, below the ground, but they put they took out their skull, and then they actually put it on their own their floors, the ground level, separate from the bodies. And then that's all. That is the other art piece. Can I see the next one? Yeah, this is a skull at the the skull reconstruction they found in Jordan. This is real skull. So it's they guess it's made it in around 7,000 BCE. And then this is like life size, of course, since it's a real skull. But they put a little bit of like reconstruction, like a little bit of things on their eyes and nose, because when you know the skull, they don't actually have this one. It's just like this is just I don't know. It's not fat, but you know it will gone.
Cartilage.
Yeah, that's what. You'll be gone like in 3 months or something. So this is fake, and also the eyes are fake. It seems too real. So what they did is they put they tinted with they put a tinted plaster to make it more like a real person, since it was just like the bone skull itself. They put like plaster as it is a skin, and then the eye, what they used for the eyes was a seashell fragment. Since it's just my opinion, but I guess the reason why they put the different how to say it, like different items,
Materials.
materials for eyes is because they think the kind of eyes are important. Like like what you can actually you can actually guess how people feel like if you see the eyes. So the function of this is mainly to worship the worship the ancestor, like concept of afterlife, like try to remember the people who actually who lived before. So as making their eyes more realistic, they just want to express that this person had been exist like a year ago. And then so of course this art piece, like what I said, the purpose of this art piece is to remember and then worship the ancestor, but this actually started from Paleolithic. The difference is they started making more remarkably, so they're more like they're having more of concept of afterlife. They started thinking more deeply. That's what I guess. And then next one. Next one. Okay, this one was the one that I have a hard time to pronounce. Like Cathelhook or something.
I think it's Jatel.
Cathelhook. Yeah, it's one of city that just the one I showed before was like a city called they found in Jordan, and then this one is about 1,000 years later from that one, and then this reconstruction style shows like kind of a really strong example of how they started to build their house in the Neolithic period. The distinctive function of this house is they don't have streets, like they don't have hallways, and they don't have doors. Like, so if I want, like, there's no like hallways from here to here. There's no door, and like in this room, because there's two reasons why they put like this one. Since they use like stone, stone with basic stone tools and a mud brick, it's kind of weak. It's not as strong as like concrete or something like the one that we use these days. So to make this to take the door and the hallway out, they tend to make it more structural, and then the other one is for the defense reason. Like, so whenever the enemies try to attack this town, they have to climb all the way to the roof to get invade the inside. Otherwise, they have no ways to get in and then invade what they really wanted to do inside. So those are two reasons that I think that why these people didn't put their doors and streets. Like, I mean, still they have a gateways. Like, they put little hallway. It's not hallway. It's more like roof case, something like that.
Skylights.
Yeah, skylights.
Yeah.
Above their kind of below their ceiling, like right around like this much. So that's the way how they kind of moving around. So except these people living inside, other people cannot actually like invade this building in force. And then can you do the next one, please? This is like the actual picture of that Quetzalcoatl. So it's not that clear actually, but I can see this wall and then this like floor. So I think this one, I just can say that there's no door. Like it's all every single wall of this room will be like this. Will look like this. There's no door, just wall, simply wall. So with looking on this evidence, Catholic, I can think that the Neolithic period, the architecture of Neolithic period was more like try to think to build more like rigidly, more strong, more like maybe more beautiful than the hut or the cave thing is that they used to live in Paleolithic period. Can you see the next one? This is the like wall painting, and then the wall paintings are actually started from like long before Neolithic. Yeah, like even before, I think even like I kind of start of Paleolithic period. Like since it's like even though it's like 5,000, 6,000 BC, I think that the wall painting would have been started like thousands of years before that. But the difference of this wall painting in the Neolithic period to the earlier wall painting is like this painting are showing the Ghazal Huk itself, so it's like what we can see is it's three-dimensional. So of course, this little items the thing that they draw inside of their drawing are still two-dimensional, but the way they use to express this space, this room, they use like different. They use a new concept of perspective, which is they start to see the third dimensional, and then how they're now able to put it on a two-dimensional area. So with this, and then the building of Ghazal Huk, I think that Neolithic period, the concept of people start to like more develop about like more in a spatial way, more in a decorative way. Like people just start to put their skull, like fathers or grandfathers' skull, and then trying to like remember them, and then instead of just putting it, they started decorating it. They put some little things, and then like all this concept are kind of developing. So can you go to the next one? So I'm not sure that how they actually use this word, but you know the word facelift.
No.
Facelift. I'm not sure. I'm not sure it makes sense, but whenever like the car company make a new model, and then like they usually change this design of model in 7 years, but like around 3 years they change a little bit of their design, like not fully, but they like kind of develop a little bit of like what they didn't like or something like that, and then they
iPhone S.
yeah like iPhone 4S. Well, even though they didn't change anything in the outside, but that's we usually say that it's a facelift model. So what I think is still Paleolithic and Neolithic are both Stone Age. So I don't think the Neolithic period is like completely different from the Paleolithic. So I think Neolithic period is more like a facelift version of Paleolithic, that they start to develop more like concept of like the space, and then concept of how they will put some more effort and meaning on the art piece, and then like how they like they start to put more effort in like artwork in general, and that continuously help people to develop their concept of like the world. I mean, like I can say that people started draw like third dimensional things, and then start to build more rigid structure. Now they can start to think more like more rigid. I mean, rigid concept of world, like society or whatever. Like, I mean everything is kind of connected. They start to build the house, and then they think that I think this like we should put someone's room in here or someone's room here, and then it might lead up to authority. Like they gives a lot of like chances to advance more ways of like developing their mind. Yeah. Done.
Okay.